I want to start out by saying thank you for visiting alanbracken.com. I want to give you a free gift that I believe will help you become more tenacious in any area of your life that you choose to be tenacious in. We have a video of Tenacity Part 1. It's one of 48 videos that we're doing that's a part of our 12-month personal and professional growth accelerant. And what I'd like for you to do is print off the worksheet that goes along with the video. Watch the video, and at the end of it, join me back for some discussion questions that I believe will help us become more tenacious in any area of our life that we choose to be tenacious in. My name is Alan Bracken, and I'm excited to be able to talk to you about this theme, extraordinary success. When I ask most people if they want to be extraordinarily successful or not, they say yes. Of course they do. I know I want to be extraordinarily successful because average is not all of that engaging and exciting. But extraordinary success, now that gets my attention. So what do we need to be extraordinarily successful? For the next 3 months, we're going to look at tenacity, intentionality, and purpose. And we're going to look and see how these topics can help us become extraordinarily successful. You may even want to look at this as a tip, T-I-P, on the journey toward extraordinary success. The first one we're going to look at is tenacity. Tenacity being persistent determination. Now, this is a quality that I see in most extraordinarily successful organizations and people. This ability to persist with determination through the ups and downs, through the challenges that we're all going to face from time to time, and overcome them. It takes tenacity. I love what Albert Einstein says. Genius is 1% talent and 99% hard work. 99% is where tenacity comes in. We have to have it in order to become extraordinarily successful. So if we think tenacity is important and it's a quality that we have to have in our lives, the question is this: what are we going to be tenacious about? Well, that's an individual choice we all have to make. Let me give you an example of something I chose to be tenacious about. It's in the area of my marriage. I wanted an extraordinarily successful marriage. And in order for that to happen, I had to be tenacious in that area. In 1991, I was 19 years old when I started Bracken Paving. I had some major success in that area of my life. And in 1997, I married Amanda, the love of my life. What I realized really quick was relationally, I wasn't very successful. And I knew that I had to get tenacious in that area of my life if I wanted an extraordinarily successful marriage. The rate I was going, I wasn't going to have a marriage at all. And so I had to make the choice to choose to be tenacious in that area, to be persistent, and proceed with determination, getting help in that area. Now that's my story. I don't know what you need to be tenacious about, but you're going to have to choose and decide what you want to be tenacious about. I would like to share 3 examples of men that I believe have lived tenacious lives and have been extraordinarily successful. The first one is Louis Zamperini. There was a book written about his life called Unbroken. It's a World War II story of survival, resilience, and redemption. Major tenacity. He has overcome so many odds and obstacles. He was caught at sea for 47 days on a life raft, lived through that, just to be captured and tortured and tormented for 2 years by the Japanese. I heard Darren Hardy do an interview with him, and in his mid-90s, what I was so encouraged and inspired about was his attitude of tenacity. He called that generation, his generation, a hardy generation. I think we could also refer to it as a tenacious generation. And he's just a great example to me of someone that's lived a tenacious life. The next man we want to look at is Marcus Luttrell. Marcus Luttrell is a Navy SEAL. That alone lets you know he has tenacity. To endure the training that a Navy SEAL has to go through to be a Navy SEAL is just amazing. I've studied what their workout routine is, and it's just incredible. And he wrote a book called Lone Survivor about his experience behind enemy lines in Afghanistan. He was the only one out of his 4-man SEAL team that survived. They were surrounded by over 200 Taliban, and it's an incredible story of perseverance and determination against unbelievable odds, and he made it through. Just a person that's lived tenaciously. The last one we want to look at is Truett Cathy. Now, I love Truett Cathy. I had the privilege of meeting him personally in Chick-fil-A headquarters in Atlanta, and he's just an inspiring guy. He's full of passion, full of life. What he's done as an individual and what they've done as an organization and a company has been extraordinary. And the success that they've had, it's amazing. What he does for people, for communities, in the way that they give back is inspiring to me, and being around him is just encouraging. These 3 men have lived tenacious lives, and that's who I want to model my life after, and that's who I want to challenge you to model your life after. People that have lived tenaciously. Now, there's some things that we need to do in order to live tenacious lives. So what's it look like? What's it mean to us? Well, the first one, I think, is being a continual learner. This is about gaining knowledge and information. And then the second one is about continual growth. This is applying that knowledge that we've gained and learned. And the third component is continual serving. This is passing it on. Passing on what we've learned, what we've applied, so that we can help other people become extraordinarily successful. So when we put it all together, we have to gain it, apply it, so that we can pass it on to other people. So the challenge is this: for you to identify what areas in your life do you want to be tenacious in, and decide and commit that you're going to persist with determination in order to be extraordinarily successful. What I want to do is explain the power of this program. And it really is in the discussion questions. How we look at it, how we can apply it to our own lives is so powerful. If we want to change our behavior, we have to start our thought process in that direction and ask ourselves some questions. So the first question is this: what do you want to be tenacious about? Now, I gave you an example in the video about me being tenacious in my marriage. And early on, I was not tenacious in my marriage. And so if I move to question 2, how would I rate myself on a scale of 1 to 10 in my marriage? I would have to probably put a negative number down because I was so bad in that area. Now today I can say, if I wanted to rate myself on a scale of 1 to 10, and how tenacious I am in my marriage, I would probably give myself a 7. Why do I give myself a 7? Well, the reason I give myself a 7 because I've really worked on that. And I'm not perfect, and there's room for improvement. But here's what I know. I've worked really hard, and I've persisted with determination in that particular area. The next question: what benefits would I receive if I improved and increased my rating? If I moved from a 7 to an 8 or a 9, that's just going to help my relationship with my wife Amanda. And obviously there's clear benefits there. Now, the next question is, who do I know that has been tenacious in their marriage? My grandfather was tenacious about his marriage, and he had an extraordinarily successful marriage. And that's a person that I admire and has been tenacious in that area. So here I am putting a name and a face with someone that I have known so that I can remember this is who I want to be like. That's a powerful exercise. The last question, I believe, is the most powerful question. And that is, what specific action can I do immediately to improve my rating? And now, here's what I want us to think about when we're talking about a specific action. We need to tie it to a who, what, when, where. If I want to increase my rating on my tenacity in my marriage, I need to sit down with my wife Amanda, spend time, and put a date on it. Monday, 2 o'clock, where I'm connecting with her, where I'm spending time listening to her. Where are we going to do it? Put a place on it. In the bedroom, in the office, wherever you need to do it, but put a time and a place on it and a who you're going to do it with. That way it can be measured. And so the next time we get together, we can discuss the specific action plans. And that's the power of this program. Really thinking about how you can increase your rating, who do you know that's done it well, and what specific action you can take immediately to improve your rating. That's a personal example. You may want to use an example in your organization of how you want to be tenacious. Let's just throw out customer service. Maybe you have an organization that customer service is really important. You want to be tenacious about it. So you ask, how tenacious are you in that area? Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. If you're pretty good, then you obviously want to rate yourself a 7, 8, or 9. Now I want to encourage you here, stay away from 5. I'll tell you why. If you get in the habit of going with the 5, the middle of the road, it won't stretch your thinking and it can become a cop-out. So I want to caution you, stay away from 5, and either you're doing well or you're not doing so well. And just be honest here and give yourself that rating. Ask yourself, why did you give yourself that rating? This gets you thinking about, really, why did you rate yourself that number? What benefits are you going to receive if you improve your rating? Again, what am I doing? Asking a question that engages thought so that we can change our behavior. Who do you know that's tenacious about customer service, for example? This puts a name and a face. Very important, because it brings it into the realm of possible. Sometimes we think things are impossible, but when we put a name and a face on them, it makes them possible. And then the last question, what specific action can you take immediately to improve your rating? Now, again, I want to remind you, attach a who, what, when, where. Be very specific. Put a time, a place, who you're going to do it with, so that you can really change the behavior. That's the power of this program. If you will watch the videos, ask yourselves these questions, challenge yourself to really put some thought into it, and formulate a specific action plan, what I know is you will improve. You will increase your tenacity, and you will become extraordinarily successful.